Today we are going to do an interview with Gulandom, and she is a very special guest. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi,
Thanks
and
for
how are you?
having me.
I'm saying hello, and how are you? Thanks for joining my studio.
Thank you for having me. First of all, I'm Gulandom. As you mentioned earlier, I'm an English teacher and I have more than 6 years of experience in teaching English as a second language. And I'm fine. How are you?
I'm also good. Thank you so much. Can you introduce yourself?
Mm-hmm. So, as I mentioned above, I'm an English teacher with a master's degree in education and innovation field. And I've been teaching English in higher education, like different type of private universities so far. And also, I have some experience in working in teaching centers, which prepare students for higher education in Uzbekistan.
Thank you so much for giving me your introduction. So let's. Good morning and hello. Good evening and hello. I welcome you in my studio. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to see you with us today. We all are really excited to see this. To learn from your experiences and national English teacher
Mm-hmm.
national and guests into your journey for inspiring students around the world. Thank you so much for joining. So, my first question with you is: can you please tell us a bit about your journey as an English teacher?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, at my young age, I started to teach English for my relatives and neighbors, like everyone does. Because in our family, my sister was also an English teacher, and sometimes I taught her students when she got sick and when she had something else to do. And after that, I kind of realized that I have some passion for teaching English. Then I started working in different type of teaching centers when I was studying at university. When I was doing my bachelor's degree in the third year, I started to work for teaching centers. And after that, I applied for master's degree. Then I did my master's, and at the same time, I applied for teaching in higher education. And I was doing like both of them simultaneously, working and studying. Well, working as a young student actually was a bit challenging. You know, sometimes like you don't manage to work and study, and sometimes you may look too young to teach. Your students may not acknowledge your real knowledge, and they may think like you are too young to teach, you are not really experienced. But after I had a couple of sessions with my students, they kind of came to realize that it's not about age, you know. So yeah, and so far I have taught different level of students, like different genders, different backgrounds, and something like that.
That's good to hear about you. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for sharing with me. My next question with you is that what inspired you to start teaching English nationally?
Could you please repeat the question? I couldn't catch the first part.
Yeah, I say that what inspired you to start teaching English nationally?
What made me study?
I say that what inspired you
Okay, okay.
to start teaching English
Yes,
nationally?
I got it. Well, actually, I studied in bachelor's degree only nationally. Then in master's, it was international. What made me to study English is I loved English when I was at school. First of all, it was like very close to me because my sister was an English teacher. There was an English atmosphere at home. Like every time when I looked her that she was doing her tasks, talking to her friends in English, like she was pretty fluent, and I really admired. And I thought like I also need to learn this language in order to be able to communicate with people around the world and like share my opinions. I can say that my sister was my first inspiration in learning this language.
Thank you so much. I really love your answer. My next question with you is that how do you adapt your teaching style for
Mhm.
students from different cultures?
Yeah, if you know about Webster University, we also have one branch in Tashkent, and I worked as an adjunct instructor for a year. And there I had a lot of international students from different countries. And I kind of, first of all, tried to learn their culture a bit before having a class, because at the beginning we will have some info about our students, like whom are we gonna teach this term, you know? And I kind of gain information. For example, I had a student from Vietnam, and I tried to learn their culture so that I don't sound a bit rude to the student, or I don't do any like not reasonable actions in the classroom, you know. So it's always important to respect the culture of other people, no matter whether they are your students, your coworkers, or just any random person in the street. You should be really careful with their culture. So that's what I did as an English teacher. I tried to gain some info before the class about like what's accepted and what's not in their culture.
That's great answer. Thank you so much for telling me. My next question with you is that what do you think makes English a global language for connection? Sorry.
Well, I think the first reason English speaking countries, because I mean, the most part of the world speaks English. Even like before we started to learn English here in my country, it was already common language. I mean, the reason is the population who speaks in English, whose first language, or let's say the second language was English, was a lot. So it was easier for other people after that to kind of see and learn the language, because the exposure was a lot. Like we could see somewhere on TV or on the internet, main, let's say, main literature or main informations was in English. So then people started to learn it, and as a result it has become a global language.
That's great. That's really great. My next question with you is that how do you make learning English more fun and engaging for your students?
Mhm. Yes, I always tell my students like, your last destination shouldn't be getting a degree. Just degree just shows that you have come so far, and it is important what you have done in the process. It's what gives you some joy, some pleasure, and at the same time the experience and knowledge. Because sometimes students come to the class and apply for higher education because their parents want it, you know, but not by their own choice, but as they were forced. So I try to make the classroom fun, and I always try to find the passion and the interest and preferences of my students. Otherwise, they will not like the class really. Yes.
My mic was not opening. Thank you so much. That was really great answer. Really love. My next question with you is that what are some common challenges students face while learning English, and how do you help them overcome these challenges?
Mhm. I think the main challenge nowadays is time management and concentrating, because we are living in the era of technology right now, and it's really hard to be focused on one task. You know, my students are into, let's say, video games, or they want to record some type of like trend, you know, and I always want to be in the same like vibe, in the same way with my students, and that helps them a lot. Like when you are not a teacher, but their friend, and also sometimes strict, of course, but when you introduce yourself to your students as a friend, then they kind of feel really open, relaxed, and they can tell you their problems, what type of challenges they are facing. Yeah, I first of all try to listen to my students' problems, what problems they have, and accordingly, I always give them some tips.
Sorry, my mic was not opening. Thank you so much. That's really great answer. I really love that answer. For teachers, that's really great answer.
Yes. And you know, my
Okay.
students always mention like you are very friendly, but at the same time you are very strict. Like you know how to balance these two things, you know. And they accept me as a teacher and as a friend at the same time. It keeps friendly atmosphere, but I always require them to do their assignments on time. So I
Uh,
kind of try to explain the reason why they should do it. If you can show the real reason why they should do some assignment or task, not just simply giving, you
hmm.
should do that, you should do this. But if you can explain, then they will definitely do.
That's great. Thank you so much. My next question with you is that how do you use technology in your teaching?
Mm-hmm. So actually, we use technology every day. We use projectors in the classroom, like screens. We can sometimes create presentations or mind maps during the classes. My students and I use technology daily in the classroom because I always like explain them, being the generation Z doesn't mean only you can use TikTok or Instagram. It means that you should be able to send email to someone, or you should be able to create presentations using different types of tools like Canvas. And I explain them. It also includes like, uh, you know, like being able to use different types of tools that is needed for education, not only entertaining tools but for education. So I always say, if you are gonna say like you are Z generation, you are excellent in technology, just prove me by being excellent in using educational tools as well. And I encourage them to create their CV beforehand. Like I tell them, do not wait the last minute or when you are going to apply for work. Just start it right now. Do your CVs right now. Try to add some good things to your portfolio. And I think using technology is being able to use any kind of tool that will be helpful in your long term journey. For example, when you have a work, when you do some type of project, you know, yes, something like this.
That's really great. Can you hear me now? Yeah, sorry. That's really great answer. My next question with you is that what's the most memorable teaching experience you had done so far?
So, memorable experience, right?
Yeah.
Well, as a teacher, I had to teach some students who are older than me. Like I taught let's say, distant learners. We have distant learning who only come twice a year, not every day. And their age was like around 40, sometimes even older. And it was really good that I could find a common language, like regardless of my age. Sometimes they may think like I was much younger than them, and in our culture, it's a bit difficult to accept if someone younger than you tries to teach you something. Like we are not that open minded yet about this issue. And I always said my students like, guys, I'm not someone who is trying to make you down or fail you the exam, or I'm not a teacher. Let's say I'm a helper, I'm an instructor, you need to pass your exams and I will be helping you in this process. I always tell them, accept me someone who helps you, not as a teacher. And they say, you are so great. And even older students can accept you as a teacher and ask some questions when they have some relating to English, and it was really good memory and experience because I didn't think that I could do it actually, because it was my first experience teaching such older
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah, sometimes people think that I can't do, but if they say I wanted to do, so they can do. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much. My next question with you is that, yeah, sorry. So, my next question with you is that, how do you stay motivated and continue improving as a teacher?
Mm-hmm. So that's really a good question because it's very common to feel dismotivated. Sometimes you lose your passion to teach because it seems like the same process from morning till the evening every day, and it kind of makes you feel a bit tired. But what makes me stay motivated is my students' feedback. I can be honest here. When I accept some compliments, when I get some good words about me, my working, let's say, style, teaching style, I really find myself useful. But if I don't see like my students are not responding in the same way to my hard work, to my tries, then I say like for whom I'm working at, like, actually. So I think, yeah, positive feedback and your students love can keep any teacher in the world motivated.
That's really great. Thank you so much. My next question with you is that, what advice you would give to young learners who wanted to speak English confidently?
Well, what I did myself is practice and only practice. For example, at one time, my grammar was really super. I could, let's say, solve any type of multiple choice questions, 100 out of 100, but I couldn't speak. Then I kind of exposed myself to English atmosphere that is very common nowadays, and especially with the help of AI, they can practice. Or if they don't have any partner to talk in English, they can, for example, just record themselves in the video. I always asked the question from myself and answered myself, and I recorded myself. And after that, when I watched the video, all of my pronunciation mistakes, all of the intonation, everything was clear. And I was like, oh my God, is it me? Like, do I speak this awful? Because in my mind, I was always the best. But when you record yourself, you kind of can see what's your problem, on what you should work, like how you can improve your English. So that's only practice. Like, I wouldn't say you should learn, you should watch some movie, you should listen to some type of music. No, the only way is just expose yourself to the people, to any type of audience, and speak in English. If you don't have anyone to talk to yourself, to the mirror, to the camera. So that's the best way. At the same time, you can improve your English and also your confidence.
Yeah, that's great. Now, can you give an like feedback that how was this interview?
Actually, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It was my first interview, I can say. I didn't have a lot of interviews. What I like it is like you motivate the speaker by giving feedback every time. Like you say, wow, it's great. I really like the answer. I don't know whether you were honest or not, but it really made me
No, I was
motivated to.
honest. I was honest because
Okay.
I really love.
Mm-hmm.
Your
So,
answers
I mean,
was
it's
really good.
yeah, I mean, it made me motivated every time to continue my speech, and you make the speaker heard, like they feel like someone is really actively listening to, and then they can speak further. But I would tell you what you can improve. For example, you can say a bit extra info in your experience. For example, let's say if I'm talking about the usage of technology in the classroom, I'm sure that you have also some experience in this field, right? You can do some one or two sentence extra info, so that like you can show you are in the same wave on the same boat with the speaker. Yes, you are saying
Oh,
like it's great, really, I really liked your answer. That's also good, but try to show that you actively listen. Try to how to say, to repeat some sentence from the speaker's speech. It shows that you are really actively listening and paying attention to what the speaker is saying.
okay. Thank you so much. So
But
everyone,
you are
I
a
will
really
improve it.
good person, good interviewer. So keep going. I wish you good luck in your future journey.
Hmm. Okay, thank you so much. I really love to interview. Now we are going to end our interview. Love is everyone.